Hey, good morning, y'all. My name is Philip, and I'm starting a podcast called The Non-Custodial Parent. We're gonna be covering, parenting in today's world, 2025. We're gonna be talking a lot about the challenges of co-parenting for a non-custodial parent. A lot of times, in America, that's mostly men. But there are some instances where women are the non-custodial parent. But what we really got to get down to is abuse of family court. Family court started out, with good intentions, but quickly, it became abused. It used to be everything was handled in one, and then all of a sudden they split up the courts from family court and child support court. I know I'm feeding stereotype black man on child support, right? But over time we're gonna break down some things, why I think I'm on child support, on a day-to-day basis, the horrible things that my child undoubtedly has to do with on a day-to-day basis. It's really not about me. It's more so about the children. And we can look out and see these young kids of all ages, all races, basically becoming unhinged right before our very eyes. We can only attribute that to their parenting, to who is parenting these kids in such a way that makes them act out. We've got kids shooting other kids in school. We got kids coming to school to stab kids. We got kids bullying each other. We got, it's just a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing. But a lot of times I see on YouTube, I see a lot of, podcasts talking about this issue. But nobody's talking about the unchecked power that the custodial parent gets, especially if it's a woman. Right? A lot of times what happens is the woman will be upset that her child's father stopped choosing them, and they act out of that spite. They act out of that, and they go and put the father on child support, and they withhold access to the child, almost like a pay-for-play type deal. Like if you pay me, then I'll let you see your kid. But a lot of times, he'll be paying child support and won't even get a chance to see his kid on a regular basis. Women will say, well, why don't you fight for your kid? And, in that, it's a crazy question to me. Why should a man have to fight for his kid if it's his kid? You shouldn't have to fight to be able to be. That should be an unalienable right to be able to be in the child's life, to be able to have access to the child. Me, talk about myself a little bit. Been dealing with what can only be described as a crazy baby mama. Now, I chose my kid's mom stupidly, thinking that, man, if I get me a white girl, then I won't have to deal with any of this ghetto-ness that I see in our community. The black girls putting their kids' fathers on child support. Boy, was I wrong. What it really was, it started out, it was like, just like every other relationship. It was beautiful, love and all of that. We actually miscarried our first child, or had a stillborn for the first child. And the second child's here. That's our son. He's 13 now. You know, my kid's mom would hit me with everything in the book. You're insecure. You're not a man. All of this, all of that. And it's taken a toll on me, man. It really has. It's taken a toll on me. He confided in, I would say, hey, you don't have to go out with your girls drinking tonight. Why not just stay home with me and the baby? She would tell me I'm boring, or I'm this, I'm that, I'm a drip, or whatever. I'm lame. That's what they like to say. So, after hearing that for a while, it'll make you not want to be around that person, whether you got a child with them or not. At that point, you're fighting for your own sanity, right? So whether you got a child with them or not, if someone is talking to you in a crazy way all the time, no matter how much you tell them, hey, this is affecting me, they don't care. But yet somehow the judge will say that it's in the best interest of the child to be with that person. That is where the system is broken. Right there. Unchecked. We'll get back to this. I gotta take care of something.